On this episode of After Hours, we have a very special guest. Matt Krul from the Imagineer podcast is joining us. This is After Hours, episode 63.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Oh, boy. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the After Hours, episode 63. I'm your host, Carlos Silva. And I'm here talking with you all the way from Miami. And glad because it's already, he's already getting into the room here. You can hear him walking.
Oh, no.
It's all the way from Kentucky, our buddy, Collin Kendall.
And I guess Carlos brought his pipe organ tonight, so we're in for that the rest of the night, too.
And all the way from the motherland, from Orlando. He's our magic guy, Jason Canapp.
Well, it's so good to see most of you.
Except Carlos.
I'm so looking forward to tonight.
Yes, but let's talk Disney. Let's talk Disney.
Let's do this.
Everything okay? This is going to be a very special show. The only thing is that Carlos is a little bit burned out this week because it was a pretty intense week, and already pressing the wrong buttons here, but no fun.
Oh, I told you about the chicken fingers.
Yes, I know.
Bumble fingers.
But it is time now for our hello. It is our hello time now. And Collin, help me with the hellos. Who's
If
there?
you insist.
Yes, please.
It's good to see Jonah Hill, Mark Williams, Carrie Krieger, Caleb Joshua Hill, Butch Rosenthal, Peter Mano, Michelle Canapp. See, I stole that one from you this week, Jason. But I'll let you continue on from there.
Well, I'm going to start. I'm going to say hi to Megan. Great to see you as always. Kelly Lawrence, wonderful to have you here. Wendy and Jody and another Mark. We have Sarah here.
Yeah, Christine all the way
back.
Christine from UK. Yes.
Christine from the UK and Butch from Maryland. I know Colin said it already, but we have to get Maryland. Gustavo.
Jerry is here. Gustavo is here. Yes.
And Neil Metcalf. Good to see you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a lot of fun people. This is going to be a problem. Lots of fun people here tonight.
A lot of people here.
I call it a solution.
And hello to my mom. I'll say hi.
Socrates, all the way from São Paulo, Brazil, is here too. Mark Sheffield is here. Hello, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Mark. Good to see you. It was great running into Mark the other night at the Contemporary.
Yes, I saw the
saw
picture.
that.
I saw the picture.
Yeah.
Well, let me
hello,
take the
Caleb.
that song out of it. Oh.
I love the song.
No, that would
I'm going to write lyrics.
One
Those
thing.
button close
making
together,
that.
Carlos?
One thing, but we do have, and Collin, do the honors because we do have a very special guest with her.
Yeah. I met our guest not too terribly long ago, actually, through a mutual friend, and he ended up being a pretty awesome guy. So he had me on his show. And he was nice enough and willing enough to put up with me for a little bit. So I've got to welcome in Matt. He's going to join us tonight from the Imagineering podcast.
Hello, buddy.
Hey, so great to be here. You all hype me up way too much, but it's a real pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on the show. The one thing I realized is that your backgrounds are amazing. You can tell I focus on audio and I do not do video at all. I just do the podcast. So
But you sounded.
I gotta work on this. This is nowhere near.
Your
least
audio
have a
is
picture.
so good, though, Matt. I
Yeah,
mean,
that-
seriously.
Yeah, we're
It's
talking about
like
the audio. Yeah. Let me.
it
I have
makes,
to have
it makes
something
me
good.
angry how good it is.
Yeah,
Actually.
let me bring Matt with us here, and it's me here. Okay, got it. Yeah.
We're gonna have to rearrange the names a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah.
Jason, Collin, Carlos, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Colin often pretends to be multiple people at the same time.
Yeah, it helps. It helps when you have an identity crisis.
But let me show here, because I just want to show Matt's card here. Matt is from Imagineer podcast. I was telling Matt before the show started, I'm a huge fan of his podcast. It's one of my favorites. It's always great. And
Way too kind.
yeah,
But I appreciate that. Thank you.
He's really not. He's
actually quite mean most of the time. So
no, I'm not
Take
the
it
mean
away.
one. I'm not the mean one. No.
The thing about Matthew's, do you go by Matt or Matthew?
You know, it's confusing. I go by both. Usually in
That's an easy
casual
answer,
settings,
though.
I go by Matt. I say the only reason I
Okay.
say Matthew on the air is because I found and going to Starbucks. If I say my name is Matt and I'm just like, what's your name, Matt? It comes out as Mark, Max, Mac.
Yeah.
So it never
Or
comes out
there's
as
four
Matt,
guys named
so-
Matt in the Starbucks.
yeah, and you
Right.
get 6 different coffees.
Yeah. So I start out as Matthew, but then you can call me Matt. That's fine.
Great.
So the wonderful thing about your podcast it's not just the subject matter that you cover, which is wide ranging, right? But it's so well put together that it almost makes me not like myself. Like it's so good in terms of the quality of even the beginning, even like the music in the beginning. It's just too good. It's
Well,
just
thank
almost
you.
and the deep dive you go into you have not just like interesting people on or subject matters that you talk about, but then you have clips that you're running, and then you'll do the ambient sound, the binaural sounds. It's really good. And for those of you watching, if you haven't checked out the Imagineer podcast, do it. Do it, especially if you have a long drive coming up. It's worth a download.
Tomorrow,
For sure.
I'll be driving to Orlando. I'm gonna be hearing Matt tomorrow. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, thank you so much. I tried to create a show that I knew that I would personally want to listen to as well, and that's how I think about each and every episode. So if I listen back to myself and I'm a harsh critic on myself and I'm happy with it, then I figure it's okay to put out and into the world. So, but again, this, just look at the setup of our 4 screens right now. So if anyone seems not put together, it is me.
No. You're like the highlight. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
You didn't see this
Well,
6
it's great to
months
be
ago either. Or a year ago, roughly. I mean,
Yeah, we're Mark Williams is saying Matt's podcast is so good. Please subscribe. Yeah, Mark is always.
Thank you
always
so much, Mark.
Yeah. Well, but I like to, you have to move on because there's also one thing. Matt is due to the things that he had, some priorities. We're gonna have Matt for just for one segment here, and which is coming right now. And I like to ask Matt though. So, I'll do it with Matt. Is Matt? Now is the time.
Now is the best time.
So it's our top 3, and a very, very, very special top 3 because with Iviana having Matt here, let me bring the topic. I just hope because I'm just noticing there's something strange with that key, but I think I got it right.
I hit the wrong key.
Yeah, this is our topic for tonight. The top 3 Walt Disney World Imagineering marvels. And the Brazilian in the room had to ask Collin, are we talking about those heroes?
it took him a while. He figured it out eventually. I sent him a Google link.
Are we talking about those guys?
I thought, Collin, you should have just said, just do your thing.
You just come up with a list. We'll see what it looks like.
Well, so we're going to talk about the top 3 Walt Disney World Imagineering marvels, and we're going to start with our guest is Matt. I will show your let me show for you here first. And here, let me bring this one. It's always good to give you a little plug. And Matt, your number 3 was this one here, and I couldn't get a picture of that because it's I can't. For obvious reason. But this is your number 3.
Yes, this is my number 3, the Utilidors. Thank you for not getting a picture of it, because I wouldn't want to see your show get into trouble for posting photos of that. I will say, if you want to do the Utilidors, you want to see the Utilidors, you actually can as a guest when they welcome back the Keys to the Kingdom tour at Magic Kingdom. That is how I have seen it as a guest. I've done that tour 3 times, and they'll take you into the Utilidors. So if you're ever curious about that underground city at Walt Disney World, that's a way to do it. Besides becoming a cast member, that's of course the other way. When you go through traditions, they show you the Utilidors as well. I had to put this was not in any particular order. This was just my stream of consciousness and thought when I was thinking about Imagineering Marvels, and ending up as number 3, it almost ended up in a way as my number 1, as sort of the ultimate Imagineering Marvel. And Disneyland, the background for this is Walt was walking through Disneyland one day, and he was in Tomorrowland and saw a cast member in Frontierland costume walking into his shift to go into Frontierland. But the problem was that here was this cowboy walking through Tomorrowland, and it just didn't fit. And Walt cared deeply about story and show, and everything had to fit when it came to story, and that was not a way to do it. So when he built Walt Disney World, he knew this was not going to be a problem, and Walt dreamed big, and of course that resulted in the massive land that is Walt Disney World to begin with. But then at the Magic Kingdom, he figured with this first park at Walt Disney World, rather than having cast members enter through the same gate and walk through different lands, and you'd see a Tomorrowland cast member in Adventureland or an Adventureland cast member in Fantasyland, that instead he would build this system of what many consider to be underground. I'm going to put underground in air quotes for a second. Underground tunnels that service all the cast members, all the facilities. It carries garbage. So if you don't smell garbage at the Magic Kingdom, that's because there are these massive chutes, these massive tunnels. The HVAC system, the AVAC system, I should say. The AVAC system carries garbage literally under the Magic Kingdom at the speed of a moving car. There's the warehouses, or all these rooms that house the equipment for the attractions, audio, just everything is down there, and that's how cast members get around as well. A little fun fact that I said, underground in air quotes, is because technically Utilidors are not underground. They are the ground level of Magic Kingdom. When you're looking at walking around the Magic Kingdom, the actual park level, that's actually the second floor of the park, 14 feet above ground, which is one of my favorite facts. And if you're ever lucky enough to, it's one thing you can't really see as easily from the places they take you on the Keys to the Kingdom tour. But if you are a cast member, if you get have the pleasure of being a cast member one day and enter into the Magic Kingdom through the Fantasyland backstage main Utilidor entrance, you can actually see, you're standing on ground level, you're looking around, there's streets, and you can actually see the base of It's a Small World is 14 feet above you. And you get that scale and see that the Utilidors are actually the first level. So I geek out about this because it is such, when you talk about Imagineering Marvel, they literally built an entire park-wide system on the first level and said, you know what, then we're going to put the park itself on the second level. And it's not all Walt. That was Walt's vision for it, but it was Admiral Joe Fowler, who was working with Walt, who came up with the specifics of designing that system. But man, when you talk about Imagineering Marvels, I had to make sure that was on there because it's just so cool.
And I'm really glad that you brought up the story about Walt seeing the cowboy walking through Tomorrowland, because one of the things that you didn't mention is that the little known fact that was the inspiration for Jon Favreau's Cowboys versus Aliens. And so,
well, I
think it's important to point out
that's
a brilliant piece of movie making there.
I thought you were going to say it was his inspiration for The Mandalorian, sort of that old West feel in space.
That too, apparently.
Who is going to be the next one?
I can go.
Collin should go.
Well, I mean, mine's a little bit simpler, but I'm going to bring this one to the table because it is one that when I saw it for the first time, it kind of fascinated me because I didn't know what was going to happen. And it's actually spoiler alert on this one if you've never experienced this attraction. It's Enchanted Tales with Belle, of all things. And I'm not like a huge fan of this attraction, but at the same time, this room, when you step into basically Maurice's workshop is the way I understand it. Somebody correct me if I've got the story wrong. But as you stand there, you don't expect anything to happen, and then a piece of the wall that you think is just an ordinary piece transforms into a portal that you basically step through. And it's so eloquent the way that they do it that you would have no clue that it was a door or a hallway or however you want to explain what that ends up being. But if you're a first-time guest or you're not a guest that's been to the Disney parks much to see that type of effect in action, they do a similar thing at Runaway Railway of sorts. But if you've never experienced it, it is something that truly blows you away the first time because you have no idea that it's coming and all of a sudden you're stepping through what was a wall. And to me, that's one of those little things, but it's also one of those big things that people will remember when they get home. So like if you see that and then they're reiterating the experience to their family or their friend, they'll say, "You will not believe this door that opened," and that kind of thing. It's like you're not going to see that anywhere else. So it had to make my list, even though it's maybe not my favorite attraction. It is one that continues to blow my mind, even though I'm a little bitter that they've never picked me for one of the nights. It's okay. It's okay.
But you know one thing. I'm it's okay for me because I just realized that I'm not the only one because I never experienced that.
I haven't either.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
we
why.
have a friend that's not going to like you.
I never.
It is so
I haven't
worth
either.
it.
Yeah, I
It
have.
is
I'm
so
just
worth
waiting to go
Yeah.
back there because I need to experience that.
It's a date, Carlos.
Oh
There
yeah.
you go.
It's a
Two
date.
grown men and Enchanted Tales with
Yes.
Belle. What better
Won't look
experience?
weird at all.
You will have an amazing time doing that together. I can guarantee.
Exactly.
It'll be definitely worth doing.
Absolutely. You might be a night on each side. I mean, and whenever it reopens.
Well, who's the next one? Me or Jason?
I can go if you want.
Yeah, it's your turn though.
Since you're asking
Enthusiastic
everybody,
about it.
Yeah.
So my top three, my number three in my top three, unsurprisingly probably is the Tower of Terror, the Hollywood Tower of Terror. Also, which I'm also going to group into that because this is me, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout in Disney's California Adventure because Tower of Terror isn't there anymore. But not only is this my favorite attraction, I think it is one of the best Imagineered attractions of all time. I think the everything from the ride mechanics and the safety that's built into this thing, the fact that you're never in free fall for real, you're controlled the entire time in terms of being pulled up and pulled down. But in Walt Disney World, the guide by wire mechanism, you think about like we're in this cage, in this metal cage, where we're just like swooped up, and then we drive forward. Right, and we have all these things happening, and then we kind of lock into this next section, which is where kind of the main, sort of the main thrust of the attraction, the thrill happens. But all the while, you're like, this is all happening again and again and again, with all of these safety elements in place, and then there's the randomization that they introduced a few years back, which is incredible. But cut to
Carlos scream.
It's so good,
Or at least
and
try.
the story, the story and the effects are incredible. But then you cut to California, Disney's California Adventure, and these Imagineers took the same attraction, the same technology, like everything, the bare bones of this thing, kept it all the same for the most part, except introduced the new overlays and the new video and the new storyline. But they also changed it using music and using the way that the mechanics work, and so you have much more like lift and bounce instead of drop. They took what was kind of a terrifying attraction to some people, Carlos, and turned it into this kind of exhilarating, fun attraction. It's the same ride mechanism. It's incredible.
You never told me that. When I tried to go with you.
I tried to tell you this.
When I tried to go with you, I said, buddy, I have some issues with drops. But you never said to me there's no much of a drop there.
There isn't much. Oh, I think I did. I think you didn't believe me, probably. But Matt,
Just
maybe
lying.
you'll believe Matt. Maybe Matt can. Matt, have you been on Mission Breakout?
I'm the wrong person to ask about
Oh,
that.
no.
I could tell you when you're talking about the Imagineering of Tower of Terror, I'm already like holding back all the things I want to say because it is incredible. From an Imagineering point of view,
Everything. Everything.
Everything's amazing. But I get motion sickness on attractions, so I'm the wrong person to ask about doing Tower of Terror or Guardians of the Galaxy
Me
Mission Breakout.
too.
Mission Breakout is, and for those, just as an aside, for those of you who are, maybe have been on Tower of Terror and didn't like the drop effect and you don't like the spookiness or whatever, Mission Breakout is a completely different experience. It is night and day in terms of the experience. It's definitely worth considering if you like exhilarating rides to begin with. If you don't, then you should avoid it. I mean, if you like having fun, you should consider doing it. If you don't like having fun, then you shouldn't do it.
Okay.
Or you could go sit with me and Carlos and get a hot dog up the block.
Yeah, in that place, the winner,
award winners or whatever.
The winner is.
I get a hot dog and then go on the attraction.
No, thank you.
You don't want to sit
Carlos,
next to
what do
me
you
and
have
do
for
that.
it?
Okay, first of all, I want to say good night, good evening to our, actually, good morning to our friend Ben Ackers, all the way from UK. Okay, let's go to my third option, and actually is a pretty new. I'm going not to an attraction or to it is to a particular effect in Rise of the Resistance, and we're talking about the moment that the lightsaber start to cut the ceiling. And for me, the whole thing with that is because actually I will not spoil anything, but it's not that is a marvelous technology thing that they did. That actually is a nice execution of something really simple, really simple. And the fun
Don't give it away.
No, not give it away. But the fun thing is that the first time I saw that during D23 when they played the video. And I was with a friend that said, no, it's just just for the video. They're not gonna do that. It is too perfect. And I said, yes, that is enough. There was the post production effect. No. And then you go to the ride for the first time and you experience that. That is amazing. Something that, as I said, is a pretty simple secret with a really nice execution. Amazing execution. Fantastic.
Some might even say it's magic.
It is magic. Yeah, well, I don't have it. Where? Oh, no,
You don't have it queued up?
Yeah, I have magic.
There you go, magic.
But it is amazing. Every time I go there, for me, it's one of the best parts of one of the most amazing rides, and probably my favorite one. And that's nice execution, nice little thing with a nice execution. Okay, let's go back to Matt for his second Marvel, which was.
It's going to be Spaceship Earth.
Yeah.
It's so. First of all, let me say, I could have easily monopolized this conversation with Rise of the Resistance, but I feel like my listeners are getting tired of me praising that attraction because it is so good, and I could give you 10 Imagineering illusions that I love from that attraction. But
You're getting a little honorable mention in there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Cheating like Jason.
I love it.
I'm good at sneaking those in. I'm going with some really old ones. So Spaceship Earth is, when you think of it, you take it for granted. You look at it, it's, people love Spaceship Earth. Disney fans love Spaceship Earth. You go and you look at it and you could just stare at it. You take pictures in front of it, but not a lot of people know how that thing is actually doing what it does. It's a sphere that's on these 4 or 2, split into pieces supports. And so that's what you kind of think when you look at it. But it was not easy to build this. And they knew they wanted to build this sphere. And John Hench, who was really Walt's right-hand man when it came to Imagineering, he was one of the top Imagineers back in the day. John Hench wanted to build this. Walt had already passed, but John Hench was insistent that this be a sphere. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, no one had ever done this. They had conceptualized it. They had never done it before. So they knew the closest they could get was a large dome. If you've ever seen the Montreal Expo from back in, I forget the time period, it's probably the 60s, you could see that there's almost a completed sphere, but they couldn't complete it. They couldn't never do that. So it was on this base. When what the really interesting part is that if you wanted to visualize what that looks like in Montreal, take where the supports are on Spaceship Earth, draw a straight line across, and everything above that is what the exposphere looked like. And the reason why you draw that straight line right there is because what John Hench realized in working with the engineers, the engineers told him that this was possible, but he was the one who thought, could this be done? That if you drew that straight line, took that dome, you elevated it above the ground, you put supports to hold it up, you could then complete it by putting the other part of the sphere suspended below it, and then seamlessly covering the outside in a single layer, which is over 11,000 tiles.
Amazing.
So this structure is actually two different structures put together, and it's almost like if you had a Spaceship Earth popcorn bucket, you twist it off the top. Kind of that idea, except you turn it upside down. Turn it upside down, and that's basically what this structure is. So just everybody, the fact that you walk past this and you don't think about how it was constructed, but the lengths they had to go through and the creativity to make that possible is ingenious. So I had to put that on my list.
Great.
I love it.
And there was something there would be something that would complete someone else's list here. Let's see in the coming picks here, but it was great, amazing. Collin, let's go. Let me get here. Let's go to your. No, it's not this one. It's this one here. Let's go to your number 2.
Yeah, I'll try to keep this one pretty quick because I know we are on a little bit of a time constraint, but at the same time, this one's my softball. If you've ever been to California Adventure, you know what I'm going to say, and it's Radiator Springs Racers. I mean, I know it's a borrowed technology from Test Track and similar attractions, but at the same time, they took it to a whole nother level. From the canyon itself to the attraction to what you feel under the vehicle at certain points of the attraction, the sounds, it's just so expertly done. And Radiator Springs as a whole is a whole different conversation, but at the same time, it's incredible. And the depth of what you see versus what you see when you walk behind it when you're leaving the park, it's just incredible to think about what they had to do to make it a reality. And I could wax poetically about this, or at least try. I'm from Kentucky, for hours. But it is such a marvel of not just Imagineering, but ingenuity and creativity to make it come alive in such an expert way that they did. So that had to be on my list, but I'll keep that one pretty short. So if you've not experienced it, you have to experience it yourself to do any justice to it.
And
One of my favorites.
Yeah, and as we talk about Rise of the Resistance and now Radiator Spring Racers, these are I cannot say which is my favorite, but they're together my top in terms of Disney attractions, because it's and there's a thing about Radiator Spring Racers. It's also the sound. Whenever you start,
it's incredible.
Yeah,
and the bridge and the waterfall.
That is. I
love it. We all love that part.
Yeah, you feel so great there. It's amazing. Okay, so let's go to Jason's number 2. Let me get it here. Jason, your number 2.
My number 2 is all of Cars Land. No, I'm just kidding.
He's just going to take the rest of it.
My number 2 is Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. I'm actually not going to talk much about this at all because I think a lot goes without saying, but there's a lot that actually was said on surprise Matt's podcast recently. I think it was early August. Fantastic hour-long episode, just like specifically focused on the Tiki Room, and it's so good. It's so good. But I think I just want to point out, not only were the Tiki Birds, super advanced for their time, but and they laid the foundation for all the animatronics that came later. But when you sit there and you watch what's happening, and you think like, there's a lot of moving pieces in this place. There's a lot of stuff happening. And Matt mentioned Rise of the Resistance. So we know one of the problems with Rise of the Resistance is that there's so many things that have to happen in sequence and timed perfectly that's a lot of times that's why they have to kind of like shut down, reboot, reset things, because a lot just has to happen. The Tiki Room, much simpler, obviously, but there's so many things happening at one time, especially that last scene, right? And it happens again and again and again for decades. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind, and it's still so entertaining and magical to experience to this day. But you really should go listen. I don't know if you have episode numbers or not. I think it was early August.
I do. That was episode 111.
It's so good. It was really good.
It was
Nice
just
round
past
number.
month.
And the
That's the only reason I remember it, by the way, is because it was 111. I do not remember the others.
it is. I remember the first time I was with little Carlos, when little Carlos went for the first time there. That's the first time I watched Tiki Room. Was to see the birds
the
breathing,
breath.
the breath.
Was your dinosaur waiting for you when you got back off the attraction?
Look, see, I'm not the mean
He's
one.
learning. He's learning. He's
not the
learning
mean
with you. You know, master. You're the master of minions because now the guy from Kentucky is learning. Okay. Okay, that's my cue. I have to go to my number 2. Be prepared, Collin. You know,
Be prepared for Carlos's number 2, Collin.
my number 2. It is. I would not say it's not so recent as Rise of the Resistance, but I'm talking about Expedition Everest, particularly the track switch thing, because we're talking about a roller coaster track, actually 3 tracks together, because you go from the moment you go up to that cume, and then you have to you go back, you switch to another ride, and then when we stop and you see the Yeti here with the projection there, well no, the shadow of the Yeti, you will see if you're in the first place area for the car, you can see that the track switches in a way that you can take the other one. I have something here that I have to show. Let me see. Oh, it's not here. Oh, it's not here. Now, oh, I thought I had something here. I don't have it. Oh no, I know where it is. I have here.
It's the age.
And I got from I
told you to stop bringing your art to this program.
But it is so simple in a way that it's just a switch. I have to bring you just a simple switch of the track, and then you go there. I don't know if you ever noticed that.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that when I'm on that thing, we ride and we get to the top and the tracks stop. Something's destroyed the tracks, and then we all fall backwards, and then we swing back up. I don't know anything.
And then
I don't know
suddenly,
what you're talking about.
instead you're going back to the same route that you came from.
Yeah, hey, it's amazing.
The track does like this, and there's a
I don't
detour
think so.
for the other track. It is
No, I don't think
beautiful. It is
Carlos,
amazing.
this
I
almost
think the
made my
Yeti-
top 3.
Yeah,
This
right.
almost made my top 3 because it is that ingenious.
It is ingenious.
Such a clever piece of track switch technology.
Yes,
What you're talking about, track switching.
yes, just like that.
The Yeti breaks the track. We go in a different direction.
It doesn't matter if the disco Yeti is not that dancing anymore. It doesn't matter.
I think
I always
it's all
love
the
that.
hair, I think it's all the hair ties, frankly.
Yeah, let's go to Matt's.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah,
No, that's fine. But again, Carlos, that truly did. I think I wrote it at one point, wrote it down, and then I replaced it with this with I guess this number 1 answer here. But it truly did almost make it on my list. Should I say what mine is before we show it? So mine's Flight of Passage. It's probably
That's okay.
it's okay. I mean, I remember I got off and I was like, I've seen better.
The magic of flight. And...
Yeah, it's the carousel of the park. You can take it or leave it. I only waited 2 hours for it. No, it's I said earlier that I get motion sickness on a lot of attractions, and especially screen-based attractions. So I don't do Star Tours. Star Tours makes me very motion sick.
Me too.
Can't do Mission Space.
Me too.
Flight of Passage. After hearing about it and seeing it and weighing the thought process in my head, I said, "All right, I'm going to do it." Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I had to do the same thing. I had to psych myself up for it a little bit.
I was very anxious doing it, but then they did such a great job. Part of the reason for even feeling that way on that attraction is on any screen-based attraction is because the visuals don't match up with what you're feeling, and that's where the motion sickness comes from. But Flight of Passage is done so well that it doesn't matter that it's a screen-based attraction because it feels so real that it doesn't mess with my head as much as other screen-based attractions do. Now, I'm not going to do this on a full stomach. I'm not going to do this if I'm not feeling well. But if I'm feeling right and up to it, I could do this attraction, and it's amazing. So to not make this totally about my motion sickness, the part of this that is
right,
most ingenious. Yeah, sorry, guys. The part of this that is the most ingenious is the actual ride system. Now, Soarin' is the most comparable ride system, but with Soarin', you load, which is honestly ingenious in itself. I mean, you all load on the ground floor. They take the system, this giant arm brings you up. But this one is one big 3-story theater, and there's 4 of them in this attraction. So that's a lot of ride. And it's on this almost pulley system. The best way I heard it described is it's kind of like if you picture those like Venetian blinds that you can move them up or down, or you can tilt them forward or backwards. It's basically that same type of system on this straight vertical, just like this image shows. And the way that, and then they have these 3-level platforms, and on each platform there are 8 link chairs, and those link chairs individually are on their own system, their own pivot system. They can pivot forwards or left or right or backwards, almost any direction, in 360 degrees. And the way they integrate it with the screen, you really do feel like you're flying. And then you add on top of that the wind effects, the smells. I ride the attraction for the smells. Lisa knows that. I think Collin knows that too. And then the fact that they take that a step further and they actually make it feel like the Banshee is breathing, the vehicle is alive. I mean, everything about it is ingenious, but the actual ride system itself is what makes this possible. And I can't wait to do. I've done a Flight of Passage episode before, way back in the day. It was like episode 10, and since I've now done these episodes more, I've realized I need to redo this because I did not do it justice. So I'm going to be redoing it at some point. But I have more questions to ask, more Imagineers to talk to. I'm going to end it there. It's just an ingenious ride.
Yeah,
And it really is. And I actually do like the fact that you brought the motion sickness equation into it, because a lot of people are afraid to ride this. And I was one of them for a while. And there is something about not only the fluidity of the motion with the screen, but also the breeze that they've helped create that just keeps you from getting that weird overheated feeling. And it makes a huge difference.
And I can tell the way they designed it. I could tell the way they designed it was almost partially intended for those with motion sickness, because there are times where I feel like, I don't know, and then it gets calm.
Yeah.
And it gets calm. Yeah. And then it might get a little more intense, and I'm like, I don't know if I could do this, and then it gets calm. And just like they perfectly built this story to fit anybody who, anybody who gets motion sickness. I think you can do it.
And
It might be tough, but you could do it.
I don't recommend to do that in your first time, but in the second time there, try to. What I do a lot is try to look to the other vehicles or the other rows and see and try to see the reaction of people. It is amazing because you see everybody smiling. They're just
it destroys the effect. The first time I did that, I regretted doing it. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
No,
and he's done it every time.
Never doing that again.
No, you have.
And I can't ride it without and I can't ride it barefoot. That's another problem with that attraction.
Oh no,
that's a story for another day.
So let's go to Collin's number 2.
Yeah, Carlos, before we go on to mine, do we want to give Matt a minute to kind of share some things? I know he's kind of on a little bit of a time constraint, so I want to give him a chance to kind of share something he wants to with the group, so if he does need to drop off.
Yes.
No, that's fine. I apologize for
no worries at all.
Scheduling myself properly. I really should have.
No, it's not a big deal.
I'll keep this short. You can find me at ImagineerPodcast.com and at ImagineerPodcast on all social media channels and podcast apps out there. If you like Disney, I think you'll probably like the show. You can give it a shot and see if it's for you. And just check it out. But thanks to all you guys for having me on here.
Great.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah.
I will say you're one of the nicer people I've met in the Disney space, and that speaks volumes for a lot of us. I really appreciate you being willing to come and join us on this. Hang around if you want to, or if you don't.
Hang around as long as I can.
Cool
as long as I can.
Yes,
I really appreciate you guys inviting me on here.
Yeah, no, great, buddy. But feel free, and Colin, your number
Yeah,
one.
so
Number one.
we
Sorry.
talked about Rise of the Resistance a little bit, but I wanted to kind of narrow down my focus as far as what I wanted to say on Rise of the Resistance. It's actually the little transport vehicle between when you go into the hologram room and before you get into the kind of the hangar area. And it's kind of amazing to me because there is, and I probably should have clarified this to Carlos, not the little robot thing that we're seeing on screen,
I know,
but
but
the giant transport vehicle.
Yeah,
and
but
neither one of us, I don't think, had a picture of that for some unknown reason.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of unique in that when you step into that vehicle, you don't expect it to do what it does and to end up where you end up.
Mm-hmm.
And even from like a mental standpoint, it kind of messes with your head a little bit because you step into it and the first time you ride it, you're like, wait, where am I? And it's nice in a weird way because it is that anticipation builder. You don't know what to expect and you don't think it's going to go anywhere. And if so, you think it's not going to go too far, but somehow you end up in a place that you would have never expected and you come out of the same door that you entered. Which to me is kind of a fascinating thing in and of itself. And I'm sure there's some elaborate scheme as to how this happens, and it's probably much simpler than any of us realize. But there is so much magic there. Well, thanks, Jason. You're so nice. But it is impressive, and it's at a scale that only Disney could recreate well. It's like the stretching room on steroids in a way. But to me, that had to be the top of my list because the last time that I went into an attraction, really, I knew what to expect, but then when you see it in person, there's a whole different level of excitement to it in an odd way. Yeah.
And I did not, in my case, I did not figure out yet. So
it's two of us.
Do you want it? Do you want to know, or I mean, I can keep it to myself.
No! Don't tell me. I will try to figure out. I will try to.
It's very simple. It's very simple.
But that's why, because it's almost like the same thing with the lightsaber. It's it's really simple, but that's the beauty.
Some of us like to be in the dark.
Okay, so let's go to Jason's. Let me get it here. Jason number one.
So I'm going to kind of go off the attraction route, and my number one is actually an area or a land per se in Animal Kingdom, and that is all of Asia in Animal Kingdom. Because for me, even compared to Galaxy's Edge and all the other things, I think that this particular area is the most immersive, well-imagined space in all of Disney properties that I've set foot in. The fact that they created this this fictional kingdom and blended Cambodia and India and Indonesia and Mongolia and Nepal and Thailand and probably something else in there.
Now you're just listing things.
And it was all true. And then they weave the story of the royal family in, and it sits there nestled in the foothills of the Himalayas, hence Everest. But it's not just about the story behind the space, but the architecture, the blending of architectural styles. I was pointing this out to my kids when we were there recently, like looking at the bulletin boards, that are posted here and there, and things for sale or things happening, and like there's this level of authenticity. Mm-hmm. There's this level of imagination and thought and attention to detail that went into this space that I just have not found anywhere else. And it's from the large scale stuff down to the nitty gritty little things that most people frankly won't see. And that's one of my favorite things about Imagineering. I think that's what makes Imagineering so special, and like the pantheon of organizations and groups that do similar work, right? It's that they will spend clearly tons and tons of time on something, like just inserting some little fine element of detail that very few people are ever going to pay attention to or see, right? And it's just like our everyday life, how we go out the door and we do our thing and we don't pay attention to like the little details that pass us by or we pass by, but they're there, and that adds the authenticity of a space. And I just feel like they knocked it way, way, way out of the park. And of course, this has got Joe Rohde written all over it, right? I mean, it's got his DNA throughout it. Probably literally 2. But I mean, figuratively, it's like he's got. I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing space. Anyway,
Yes.
I'll stop. I'm in love with
Jason, I have to
Asia.
say, I totally get you on Asia, and I have to ask because you say you love Asia. Have you noticed the detail in the pathway itself in Asia?
Some of it, I don't think that's what I'm saying. Every time I go, I notice different things. So what are you like? Are you
the next time you go? Pay attention to
Which
this. This is one of
section?
my favorite. This is my favorite detail.
okay?
As you mentioned, different parts of Asia inspire different parts of the land Asia, and the area by Kali River Rapid is supposed to be the wetlands of Anandapur, so it's Thailand, Cambodia, like you mentioned, and then up in by Expedition Everest, it's Nepal, so it's sort of the highlands, the mountainous regions. If you look at the footprints, or if you look at the pathway by Kali River Rapids, they're mostly using bikes, so you'll see bike tracks and some footprints, but you can't bike up in the mountains as easily. So as you walk towards Expedition Everest, you'll start to see hoof prints and footprints of people walking and taking oxen up the mountains, which is like, who's looking at their feet at the ground? But it's just such a subtle. It's such a
well,
great
and you
four
see
of
those,
us.
and you do see those things, and you see those things introduced. I mean, in Galaxy's Edge, of course, those elements are there in the pavement, and in Storybook Circus, right? The little peanuts, the peanut shells and things. I mean, I just love that. I love that. You have to look up, you have to look down, you have to look all around to really appreciate the full breadth of Imagineering genius. It's great. And and the food's good there.
Yep.
And the Maharaja Jungle Trail. Oh, it's so good. Anyway.
Okay, so let's go to my first one. And my first one, I will borrow actually Matt's sphere, the sphere from his from spaceship Earth, and my whole thing is not the attraction itself, but it's actually what they did in terms of the track system inside the sphere. Because for me, what is the crazy thing is what they did to put everything inside there, okay? And you have a whole attraction that goes inside in the sphere, and actually most the biggest part of the attraction is in your way up, and what is it is amazing because you have to remember that up to that moment, most of their attractions were designed thinking about backlot studios where you have sessions and or like that, and suddenly they put something inside that sphere. It is mind blowing, and it's pretty great. It's pretty great. And it's so,
I thought you were going to mention Phoenician Bay, but
no.
Don't get him started on that.
That is a scene. That is a Marvel. We have to do
Marvelous
scenes, but not that is the track system itself. It is.
I already did that.
It is mind. And I don't know if you remember that time, the period that was a lot of rumors about something they called the Gemini project. I think something they were trying to think about. Having something like a roller coaster inside that sphere that is not. They said it is a beautiful structure, but it would not ever hold something like that. But the way that it placed it for the tracks for the actual attraction now is beautiful. It's amazing, so smooth and so great.
Well, this was a good segment. Perfect.
Yeah.
I appreciate you all having me on.
Yeah, it was
Matt,
great.
thank you so much for
fun to have you.
doing this. We'd love to have you
Thank
back
you.
at some point.
Yes, we
Please,
have.
and this time I will make sure to block off 2 hours because I did not realize.
You should watch
We haven't
the
done
rest
it
of
for a
this
little
show
while,
later
Wendy,
before you really
I
agree.
will. Make sure I know what I'm signing up for before,
Yes.
Exactly.
before I do. No, this was so much fun. Thank you all so much for having me on, and I'll be looking forward to my next invite. So we'll come back and hopefully do this again.
Awesome.
Matt,
We'll have to
Thank
do
you
it.
all.
Great having you.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of the show. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
See
you.
ya.
Thanks, buddy.
And
What a
this
nice guy. What a
yeah,
nice
what
guy.
is
How did
what
he,
is-
how did he
He's
end
awesome.
up here?
I don't know. It wasn't because of you.
You asked for that, buddy.
I
Jason,
know, I did.
you're so
really
experienced.
did.
You-
I should get points for teeing that up, even really.
You know,
Assist.
and there was an old comment here. No, an old comment. A previous comment that I'm trying to find because it was in Portuguese. And you guys, look here. Look. Ado. There started already. Ado preciso. What she's saying is Barbara. Barbara is someone. Barbara is someone who knows me a long, long time, and her
I'm so
husband.
sorry, Barbara.
And her husband too, Fernando and Barbara. They're really good friends of ours, and they say we need to meet Jason because there's a match in every single of the attractions that he's pointing out. So
Thank you.
and this segment, talking about Jason, this segment was brought by Jason. And,
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me just bring it this. Yeah, this. Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again. Woo.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That'll haunt me.
And you have no idea. All right, so thank you so much, and I'm proud to sponsor this particular segment because that was a lot of fun. That may be one of my favorite top threes we've ever done.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. So Here with the Magic, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is all about celebrating those quiet moments of joy in Disney spaces and places and other spots sort of far and wide that just, help us connect or reconnect to our favorite Disney spaces. There are, I finally counted and now I can't remember. It's 230 plus videos over on YouTube, youtube.com/Here with the Magic. Stop laughing. And also on Instagram, I want to remind everybody we are doing these morning minutes every weekday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern.
You
also
have,
on YouTube.
you
Also
had
on
to
YouTube.
you had to send me a card.
I don't have to do anything really. I mean, but I guess I will. I will. Instagram.com/Here with the Magic. Also on YouTube. And these are just little 1 minute, little moosh booshes of videos.
Mooch boosh.
Just a moosh boosh to set your day, to get your day started in the right direction, to recenter yourself in the middle of the day. It's a lot of fun. And I'm not going to. There's something coming. There's some stuff coming I'm not going to talk about. It's going to be kind of timed for the Here with the Magic anniversary, which is also coincides with the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, but we'll talk about that later. But I need to mention the lunch break because the card's up, and the lunch break is happening typically every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. But for the next few weeks, we're doing these Monday evening shows, not lunch breaks. We're doing these Monday night shows, and just really kind of going back to the Disney spaces, but in the evening, and just strolling around, finding places to relax, take it all in. This past Monday, we were in the Magic Kingdom, and it was a really, really enjoyable evening. The weather was nice. It was kind of perfect. And then next Monday, this coming Monday, we are going to be in Epcot Center, strolling, World Showcase Pavilion. So, like the World Showcase Promenade, and it's gonna be lovely. And then we do that at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. There'll be a card up. Anyway, and tomorrow I gotta talk about tomorrow. Yes, we're going tomorrow.
You go tomorrow.
The Hollywood Brown Derby. The Hollywood Brown Derby.
They let you back in that place?
They did. I'm gonna wear like maybe a wig or something, possibly.
By the way, I saw a picture this week of talking about wigs.
Yeah, I know.
I cannot unsee that.
It's a little scary. It's a little scary. Looked like Edna mode.
I cannot unsee that too.
That would be a compliment compared to what it looked like for real. It was pretty bad. I was kind of afraid he was going to bring it to the show tonight. Glad that didn't happen.
No, I do not.
There's always next time.
I'll hold it for something better.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
One thing, buddies, I would swap the segments. I was supposed to do one segment right now, but I think I'm gonna move to another one. I think we're in the mood for news. I'm
in the mood for news.
So
simply because you're newsy.
And there was a lot of love to the Brown Derby, buddy. Shop salad.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Oh.
Mark Sheffield is saying grapefruit cake, yum. Yes. Well, let me see.
That's interesting.
And now I saw something coming from Zach, but I will try to find it. Our buddy Zach is watching here also. Okay, buddies.
Okay.
Now is the time.
Now is the best time.
Yes, some news. We're not talking about that new. Let me get it here about right. And we're not talking about that. There's some things that we're not talking about. But actually, and it's funny because Jason is not aware of any one of the news that we picked, Colin.
Not a clue.
Yes.
That's
We probably
great.
should have sent that or something.
Yeah.
It's really no different than any other week.
Buddy,
It's true.
I am very, very sneaky, sir.
be prepared.
Oh,
No,
Lordy.
No, actually, what's going to happen now is that the first one, buddy, is because actually for me and Colin is not so easy to talk about because we're I'm gonna be tomorrow. We're gonna be actually tomorrow will be in Epcot for the evening. Okay, but what I'm hearing and what we're hearing a lot is that the parks are really empty. Okay, they're
Not quite that empty.
Yeah, I know. I took that
But-
picture. Yeah, I took that picture from when they
It
reopened.
illustrates a point.
Yeah, but it's just to make a strong point on that. So, and a lot of people even send me messages and asking, "Oh, what's going on? Is there anything?" I think it is. It is a lot of different reasons all put together, and I think we like to probably we could try to explain that or not. I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I think you'd be speculating to a certain extent.
Yes.
But the one thing is for sure that this week, and I think in when you're talking about crowd levels at Walt Disney World, it is week to week and sometimes even day to day in terms of the way the patterns can change. But from everything I've heard this week and experienced firsthand, the crowd levels were absolutely lower than I think anyone expected. And Michelle and Alex were in Animal Kingdom yesterday afternoon, and just in the span of a couple of hours, like literally a couple of hours, they did Flight of Passage, they did Everest, they did Dinosaur, they did the Safari. They did, I mean, I was like, it
I saw a Flight of Passage was down to like
crazy.
25 minutes the other night.
Yep.
Yeah, Michelle said they just basically walked on. It was
Yeah,
it was
which is
posted
just
as a
crazy.
20-minute, but it was just you just walked and never stopped.
Yeah.
Right, and it is worth mentioning that historically this is a slower time of year, but this takes it to a different level, and there are so many factors at play right
Oh, I have news. I have news. I have
Uh-oh.
news.
That's not good.
The fingerprints are back at some of the places. So that's I experienced that yesterday. I scanned my watch like, haha, right? And then it was just spinning. I was like, oh no, it's not working. It's not working. And then the
I
finger
broke
pad
it.
lit up and he said, oh, put your finger on. I'm like, what? Where's your Purell?
And our buddy Mark Sheffield is always mentioning that this is always slow. This week is always slow. But I think there's another thing that is influencing that, because we're only 5 weeks or 5 weeks away from the October 1st. So I can imagine that a lot of people that were planning to travel to Walt Disney World right now, they say, you know, one thing, I'm not going there in when it's only 5 or 4 weeks to have new attractions, brand new shows, new restaurants, new everything. No, I will arrive and leave before the party starts. No, so I think that is the strong component also of the 50th anniversary that is affecting right now, and probably
And the reality of like a lot of not only elementary and high schools, but also some colleges went back later this year than usual intentionally for any variety of reasons in the last year. But that's a factor too. I mean, if people are going back to school, and no matter what age group it is, you're not in the parks, most likely, be a local or non-local. But there are many factors at play, many of which we may not fully understand, and we hate to speculate on too much, but
I-
it is. There's some things that people are saying like capacity's changed. It's like I don't think that's true, but we don't know. I mean,
I have a
that's the only thing
fantastic
we
idea.
can say.
I have a fantastic idea for Disney.
You gonna go
Ready?
count people?
Mr. Disney, are you listening? Hi.
Probably not.
I have a great way for you to get more people into Epcot. Open Remy. Open Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and let me on, for goodness sake. I'm the only person in the world who won't have been on this attraction come October.
I hope the first time
Well-
you get on it breaks down.
Well, I'll be running that.
I can't even buy my way onto the attraction.
You got
He's
the
tried.
you tried
No.
you tried the D23.
Yes, I tried everything.
I think they've just blacklisted.
I may
your
even
name.
have to buy
Like,
DVC to get in. It's driving me crazy. I've got the shirt waiting for me.
I'll be there on the 8th.
I'm sure you will.
Take pictures
Even
of
Michelle
every
and
scene
Henry.
and send them
Even
to
Michelle
Jason.
and Henry have the annual pass holder preview tickets for the 10th that I got for them on my account, but I can't get it for some reason.
That's sad.
Anyway,
That's what happens when you're mean to people.
If you open the attraction, a whole bunch of people would come to town. Anyway, just
Well, let's see. I
Down on Mark
yeah.
yesterday, so there you go, Jason. You're gonna get stuck on it your first ride.
well, that would be okay.
So let's go to the other news that we have here. We're talking. Oh yes, did you guys saw that? It looks.
I saw it.
Looks
I'm excited.
so beautiful.
My girl is coming back.
You know, I'm not. I'm not that the huge fan of Club Cool, but it looks so beautiful. I'm
It's
so
like a
excited.
childhood favorite of mine.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
hope
the
the floors
best
aren't
thing about
sticky.
of course they'll be sticky. You know what the
Gotta
best
go the
thing
first
is?
week.
You know what the best thing is about Club Cool is that
Cool.
it has it's like not only is it free, most but you don't have to be on the rooftop in 100-degree Florida weather like
That's
you do at
true.
Coca-Cola
That's true.
store to enjoy it.
It's air conditioned.
Oh, but Beverly, I'm coming to enjoy you again.
Ugh. Just give me the melon one. It makes
Yeah.
everything
That's
better.
good.
Everybody, there's a lot of love for Beverly here. So, but it's looks.
Oh,
it's-
and thumbs up. Thumbs up is the best. Hopefully, they have thumbs up in there. If anyone's listening who's stalking Club Cool, if you can make sure you bring the thumbs up, that would be
If
great.
Coca-Cola happens to watch our show,
Because thumbs up is some amazing.
No,
that's the Indian cola. It's incredible.
what amazing! What amazing!
Shake and bake, baby.
What amazing segue! What amazing segue! My friends, please give your thumbs up to our show, even in Facebook or YouTube. Don't forget to smash the like button there. We need that. Please do that so, and share. What is?
Michelle just got back and you're still doing the news? I think she missed the whole top 3 segment.
Yes,
we're mixing it up this week.
We're mixing it up. Don't worry, Michelle. And so and Zach pointed out something that's really cool because the glasses they're trying to imitate the the Coca-Cola bottle. It's nice, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it.
What else do we have?
We do have something. We do have something that we're just briefly talking. We're gonna talk again. We're talking about Ratatouille now. Now they announced that they already have the boarding. Boarding calls twice a day. It's going to be at 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. For Ratatouille. I'm pretty anxious about this one because my feeling is that from what I heard is that it is a ride with a really nice capacity, and it's pretty. I know that it broke down on Mark, but everybody said that the reliability of the ride is pretty good, that it's working pretty fine. So actually, it's going to be pretty fair to evaluate the whole virtual queue thing because there's some bad feelings about Virtual Queue because of Rise of the Resistance, but we cannot compare that because the capacities are going to be different, I hope.
Vastly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vastly.
So then we're gonna start to see the Virtual Queue with a higher capacity, higher reliability ride. Probably we're not gonna have so many complaints as we do have sometimes with Rise of the Resistance. That's the whole point, and I like that. So it's going to be 2 calls, one at 7 a.m. and another one at 1 p.m. The same thing as Rise. And it's your chance, buddy.
You're done with
I
your
can't
rant
even get
'cause you can
Rise half the
continue
time.
on here.
The trouble I have with the trouble I have is that there are families who come here from all over the place, and this may be the one and only time they come for years, and that there's not a prioritization given to people who have never experienced like Rise of Resistance. I think that's got to be addressed in some way. Like because look, we're talking about Genie and how magical it is and how much information they have, and and it's great actually. And if they're using that for good, one of the things they can be using how they could use it for good is to actually give some priority to guests who have never enjoyed the attraction. Yeah, because I think it's just only fair. I mean, if I don't always get it. I know I complain about it, but I have been able to ride the attraction Rise of the Resistance probably 5 times at this point, right? And if I don't get it but I know it's because some other guest who's never been here before gets it, well, I'm fine with that.
I got stuck on it once.
Hooray!
Hooray!
And Peter is saying, "Hi, AAA. Yeah, my rat broke down and I'm stuck behind the cheese." Oh, yeah, it is a really nice. I already told you guys. I'm
looking forward to it.
I experienced that once in DP in Disneyland Paris, and it's great. And I saw a comment here, Laura, Megan saying that felt sick. I'm kind of sensitive to motion sickness too, but I didn't have that problem when I rode it in Paris. No, I don't know. Probably it was the Parisian.
Those are the French wine and baguettes you were eating.
Yeah.
It was the other things that day.
Okay, so let's go to the other thing. We continue to be in the France, and we're gonna talk about there's we already seen the menus for the Le Crêperie, okay. And I like
don't even remember this being on the list. I think he snuck this one in on.
He did.
Yes. I saw it today, and I love the one. There is the galettes, which are the savory ones, and I always love the savory ones.
Wait.
Yeah.
Pull that back up.
Yes.
Can you zoom in?
No.
At the bottom, does that include like a million things? Look at that list of items.
Yes, I was about to say. There's the prix fix menu, the price fix.
I'll take that.
That's a window. So wait, but isn't this a window service?
No, and that's the point.
Yes, I thought it is. I thought it was a walk-up window.
No,
I don't know.
No. And I was about to. I had the pictures, but due to the fact that the only thing that took the pictures of that was WDW Magic, and I didn't want to. I'm making.
That's where they are.
Yeah, and I don't want to use their picture and just mention. You can see. I saw the picture.
Or if Mark Sheffield can get us a picture the next time he's
That would work too.
running around with the rat.
I saw the pictures of inside.
If you give me a crepe too, that'd be great.
But I have to make a comment. What they did with that restaurant is not the same kind of theming of an old-fashioned French place. Okay. What they did is almost as similar what they did to Coronado Springs to the Gran Destino. It is clean water going to. You're in France, but clean and water. So my first reaction was like strange. I was not expecting that, but I think it's going to work fine.
Wait, what's the distinction here? It sounds like you're saying clean water.
No,
clean and modern.
Modern.
Clean and modern. I was like, are the French known for having dirty water?
Clean and modern.
Okay,
No, that's
clean
Florida.
Clean and modern, and
I'm with you now.
and almost the same vibe, the same thing they did the Gran Destino or with Riviera. You have
Gran Destino.
so it is that vibe going towards France now, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting.
Very nice.
Okay, let's go to the other one, and it's I cannot
There's
remember.
more?
Yes, there's several. That's
more.
why there is a lot. Primeval
Go
Will.
get a snack.
This is actually interesting
Yes.
to me.
Yeah.
We were talking about this a little bit. There's some. You can probably explain it better than me because you did a little more research on it than I did.
No, but go ahead, Colin. I like.
Okay. So there was a permit filed for this area of the park. We don't know exactly what that entails, but I hate to speculate too much. But it is a company that it appears Disney's used many times in the past. That there could be some changes happening to this area.
Yeah.
Probably sooner rather than later, as the patent expires. I believe we said, was it March or April of next year?
Yes.
So you may start seeing some changes in this area sooner rather than later. Now, they could be very minor that guests don't even notice, and they could be major changes. We don't know any of that from the filing, but something will be happening there either on stage or off stage, or even potentially scrim work or something simple like that. But nonetheless, you may see some changes there.
Yep.
We'll just see how elaborate those changes are.
It is. Yeah. What happened?
It's time for it to. It's time for it to just.
Yeah, it's been
Go
sitting
away.
there empty for a while.
Whoa,
I don't just mean Primeval World. I think
will-
I would invite our Disney friends to go back to After Hours episode. I don't know what was like 3, 4, where we talked about all the alternative ideas we'd have for that.
Yeah,
for that
Swiss House was
particular area.
a great idea. I'm just saying.
So many good ideas. Some of which were Collins.
Pay attention to Mark's comment. Mark's comment.
Okay, I'm
I can't see that.
missed it.
It's right there.
Why did
Major-
things move
major.
so quick?
He said major.
Major. So it says.
Could it be a colonel? A colonel would even be better, or a general.
Captain.
Kind of
be
military
lovely.
leader, perhaps.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. There's so many. That's such prime real estate for Imagineers to just.
Daryl,
go wild.
Daryl is saying, I would love to see the entire Dino Land revamped into a new land. And I have to remember, I think it's episode 14th. Our episode 14? Yes. That we had,
I thought it was earlier than that, but maybe you're right.
yes, 14th.
It was when
with
Greg was on.
Greg was
It was.
on.
Yeah, from
And we did, actually it was a top 5. A top 5.
Tells you it was early on because we didn't realize how long we were.
A top 5 with ideas. So we had 20 ideas to revamp and actually substitute the whole thing there. Yeah.
yeah, great ideas. Free ideas,
Free ideas.
Mr. Disney.
And
Unsolicited free ideas.
and Mark
They
is,
never get those.
And Mark is already saying Daryl may be right. Okay.
We'll see.
Let's see. Let's go. We are having many more.
Oh, he's got more news.
Yes, I still have 3 here.
There's 3.
And DJ
God.
Vito,
Oh, no, too
he's
soon.
no, I just want to say,
sad.
I wish you all the luck, buddy. Bye, DJ Vito. Yes, but that's one thing, buddy. That's not the place for him.
I didn't even know it happened. So on Monday,
Yeah, so-
it
so
was not a
anybody
thing.
that doesn't know,
On Monday, I think it lasted one night, and then almost another night, and that was it.
Yeah, it was basically to close out the night. They had a DJ up on Main Street to basically kind of usher people out of the park and wish them on their way, and it just did not go over well.
But he was basically stopped moments before he started on that one. Right? I mean, that's a cast
on
member
the
going up
what
and
I guess
saying,
the second or third night or something like
I mean,
that.
Yes,
to
second
be
night, I
asked
think.
to be asked to go home to not do
Yes.
your gig
Yeah,
like, in
something
front of
along
all
those
the
lines.
people.
So clearly, people were very vocal.
But I feel for the guy. I mean, it's
No,
just,
he
He can
doesn't.
go back to Disney Springs. They'll give him a contract.
Is that where he
somewhere
is that where he
else.
worked?
No,
Yeah.
I have no idea. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so let's support DJ Vito. Probably he's doing an,
You should
Springs,
have
he'll
him
do a
at a
great
holiday
job there.
party at your. You should have him a holiday party at your house, Carlos,
There you go.
should do it.
Yeah,
Slip
we
it
do a
down
good
there.
idea. Good. So that's what happened. But that's I have other really two news really fast. One thing is that September 12th we're gonna have the return of the Diamond.
No.
Yes.
Really?
I'm shocked.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, September what?
I never did this.
12th.
Oh, this has got to happen.
It's gotta
This has
happen.
got lunch break.
Do
This has got
you
lunch
like
break written
Golden
all
Horseshoe?
over it.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Not in
Yes.
forever. Not in forever.
But you never tried the because I think
No, I never tried this when they reopened it.
Yeah.
And the first time it was open, I don't
tried.
remember being alive.
It was great. It was amazing. It was great. And then I want to see because if I recall well, it was a buffet. It was it has a buffet there. So let's see what's going. I know that buffet is the right way to say, but just
Buffet?
a buffet.
Pretty sure that's buffet. Yeah.
Yeah, buffet, but it's buffet. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of buffets,
Yeah, buffets.
Oh, don't go there.
I had Boma buffet,
Oh, really?
Yeah, rub
Yeah.
it in. We see how it is.
and it
yeah.
was so well done. They did such a great job in terms of they were still keeping capacity low, hand sanitation stations all over the place.
Did you wear your gloves? Are those reserved for Toy Story Mania?
Well, I didn't wear my gloves, but I did instruct my family. I was like, so here's the deal: you kind of gel your hands, sanitize your hands before you go up to the buffet, right? That's to protect other people from you. And then you get your food, you come back, you set your plate down, and then you go and you sanitize again, and that's to protect yourself from the other people. You have that's the sequence.
It must be a joy being your son.
Well, you stay healthy, Colin. You stay healthy. But it was delicious. It was so good. It was so
How many
good.
zebra domes did you eat?
I didn't eat
17?
any. Actually. No, none. Because
Oh, now you got to go back.
No. My family ate enough for me. Trust me.
And
Carlos, what else is on your
And
list
we
today?
got
we have the last piece of news that is pretty quick. The Fairy Tale Fireworks Dessert Cruise is coming back.
Nice.
There's some reservations already open for the final Happily Ever After final performances. Nothing yet. Nothing open for Disney Enchantment.
Are we going to put Carlos on a boat for that final performance?
But I like the idea.
I like the idea too.
I like the
I
idea.
think
That's why I
I
brought
like,
it.
You know what sounds nice? After hours firework dessert cruise. That's what sounds nice. I think it has a
Yes.
certain ring to it.
Yes. Well, for this one is $99 per adult and $69 per children.
And how many people does it accommodate?
No, it is in one of the ferries.
Oh, they put them on the ferry?
Yes, is the fairy
And it-
tale.
And it's
sounds
99. Okay, wait a second. But then it's $99. They're gonna jam a whole bunch of people on there, right? And how much is it to just rent the?
But
it's
it's also a dessert cruise.
I'm with you. I get it, but
No, we're not talking about. I know. Makes a lot of sense, buddy. I know.
Okay.
I get it. The one, yes. But I'm just it is not only for the after hour. We're talking about hundreds
That's
and
600 people.
thousands of
Yes,
people
there's
that they're watching us. We're not gonna put all of them in the grand, but they can go to the fairy tale. They're gonna go to the fairy tale fireworks dessert cruise. That's why. And then that's why we're bringing that up. And I like
So how
it.
many? We got to find out. We got to find out from somebody who can tell us how many people. Because wouldn't it be awesome if you could have your own ferry boat? How many people would it take to have our own ferry boat?
Or even the ones with
And we could have the
open
DJ.
sides?
We could invite DJ. Whatever his name is.
DJ Vito.
DJ
DJ Vito.
Yeah.
We can have DJ.
Awesome.
We can have DJ Vito there, and but the whole thing is that
Karaoke.
No.
no,
No.
no.
Jason
Oh, we got
all
to
by
talk.
himself
We got to.
every
My
night.
brain's like.
Yes, but you have a buffet there.
Dessert boat.
Yes, it's a buffet, so it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So this time, Colin, let me bring this offer this
Megan
segment
wants to know if
because
alcohol is included.
I cannot
Doubt it.
remember. I don't think so.
At the price point, probably not.
No.
And I like to bring this segment because the last time I forgot to bring something. Remember the last show it went. My friends.
Just drifted away. Catch it before it leaves.
Okay, this segment was brought by Carlos, and when I like to just point out is that let me do this. Yes, you can watch me every Tuesday at the Ponto a Ponto, and Mike O'Reilly, Lisa Getting Mylan is always showing up there. I think they're really proficient in Portuguese because this show, it is in Portuguese every Tuesday at 8 p.m. You can watch in Ponto Miami and Facebook or in the Ponto Orlando YouTube channel. One thing is that I didn't brought the card yet, but I'm actually every 15 days I'm doing another show called Conexão Florida Connection with other two friends. It is a little bit different. It's much more focused in Florida, and it's edgy, and it's yeah. And the other thing I like to bring is that don't forget to like and share now. It is the right moment to like and share our show, okay? And don't forget to subscribe to our After Hours Let's Talk Disney.
We have a YouTube channel?
Yes. We do have a YouTube channel. Okay.
Oh.
Yes, we do have a YouTube channel. And that was the segment brought
And
by
it's not just Carlos's karaoke.
Yeah,
I kept going
That's
to
a
Ponto,
different
Ponto,
channel.
Ponto.
Yeah.
All the Pontos. So if we got a pontoon boat, if we had a pontoon boat party, like a flotilla, we gotta have a flotilla of Ponto pontoons. It'd be great.
Yes, all the Ponto.
Oh, there's gonna be karaoke. Oh, there's gonna be karaoke.
Oh, buddy.
Wait for that cruise. You wait for that cruise, buddy.
And, we still have an on segment, but I have to tell you guys that the three of us, I was missing this week. It's good.
Aw.
Yeah, I was missing this week. It's really good to be with you guys. But buddies,
Don't you have another segment, Carlos?
yes, we do have a no.
Yeah.
It's other side of
There
actually.
is literally.
No,
This is
that's
the show
one
that keeps on giving.
That one that I did not include it in that episode that we use like emergency
Bring
exit.
it on. Bring it on.
We're not gonna do
We're
that.
not doing it this week.
No,
either?
John's
What's
here.
wrong with you?
John's awake.
Yeah, John.
Good
Just
morning, John.
good morning, John. Yeah, good morning.
Oh no,
We
he's
set
leaving.
our record today if you
I
play
know
that
he's
segment.
Well, but talking about karaoke and all the things that we talked. Did you heard? And talking about audio, what an amazing audio with Matt.
Oh,
it's always
no.
yeah. Well, you can hear it. Everything.
Very professional.
Yes, but there was something.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's probably that rattle. It's Jason's head.
The rat.
rolls
The
back
rat?
and forth. It's just a
Oh.
For me,
just
better
that
a
thing?
rat than a frog. So
Oh, speaking of,
what happened?
I did have that frog incident. Remember,
Oh yeah, you sent me a picture. I almost faint. Yes.
it was
If the-
scary.
Yeah, if that happened to
That was
me,
after last week's show. It
Carlos
was
would have
freaking me
wrecked
out.
his car.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Collin.
What's it sound? Sadly, that was. Never mind.
Oh my gosh!
You
Thanks
almost got
God.
to see my better half.
Thanks God we're muted.
You're the 9 old men. We're like three old men, like just
Yeah.
like, oh, this hurts and all that
Oh,
hurts.
yeah.
Can't help it.
Oh,
But this is what the sound, Jason. I think because nobody is aware, because then don't. Can you explain to them what that sound?
be happy to explain What's That Sound. What's That Sound happens to be Collin Kendall's favorite segment here on After Hours, and he would wish that it's yours as well. It is when we play for you not one, not two, but three little bitty sounds from somewhere in Walt Disney World. Your job, should you choose to play along, and why not, you clearly don't have anything better to do, is to tell us what that sound is, where it's coming from, being as specific as possible. Post your guesses in the little comment, in that little thing right there. Yeah, that's right there. And this week, you will win a chance to ride Remy's Ratatouille adventure when you get here.
I was really hoping he was going to say the
After October 1st.
pontoon, but it's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
yeah, that's too. But I don't know. I don't know if we can.
Oh,
do
the
that.
poncho,
Maybe,
poncho.
Is that really a song?
It's cuando.
Oh, that song. Okay, I was like, how are you not using that already for your YouTube? Anyway, I don't know. We should get. This week is going to be interesting. It's either really, really easy or really, really hard.
Yep.
And I can never guess which it's going to be.
That's like what I think about doing the show every week.
Oh, nice. No, buddy, Jason. You're teaching him well.
I know. He's finally like you're finally seeing the true Collin.
Oh, yes,
thing.
yeah,
I get to see this all the time.
No,
Get to or have to.
Get to.
soon the people
Pleasure
become
being
the master.
treated
Yeah.
poorly.
There's that song. That song from
They all know it goes both ways.
There's a song from the police called
Depeche Mode.
No, the police called
Master and Servant.
Yes, but that is also the wrapped around the finger. That's it. And you suddenly you find that your servant is your master. So
Are we going to do this segment?
oh yes, oh yes. Now you understand why just kill a segment, because
You did totally kill a segment. We had another
did.
segment planned for tonight, and he just rolled right through.
It
it.
is-
Last week and it didn't happen.
and it's the second time in not
I
in
feel
a row.
bad for this segment.
Yet it's in the segment that I work a
It's
lot
a
of.
nice segment.
Segment
Actually-
without a country.
actually-
I say that I've not seen it.
it is a nice
careful
segment,
what you wish for.
but I'm saving for another time.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so let's go to the first sound. Are you guys ready? Are you
ready.
guys? Okay. Good.
If I have to be.
Okay. So let's go in 1, 2, and 3. We're muted.
Oh,
Nothing and a whole lot of nothing.
there's a whole.
Let's do it again in 1,
little
2,
louder.
and 1, 2, and 3.
Well, that well-known sound. That well-known sound. I think you should play one more time just to let people catch up.
Yeah, I can play it without moving. Looks
I
like
thought you were gonna hum it or something.
no. It looks like someone is starting a little samba in Brazil. Yeah,
Carlos playing the jaw hard.
another one in 1, 2, and 3. Let's see.
I feel like I've heard this, but I don't really have any clue where it is.
Fort Langhorne, Everest Q at night. Jesus turn signal.
One of these weeks we need to do that. Just random stuff in our lives. What's that sound? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. The
That's
inside
Carlos
of an
singing
MRI.
in the shower.
Yes,
Inside of an
Michael,
MRI, right?
Michael, I totally got that. Dinner bell in Brazil, yes, I totally got that. Caleb saying Asia. Daryl doesn't have a clue. Jody is saying Pandora, Flight of Passage Q. Michelle is saying Animal Kingdom.
That's pretty broad.
Yeah. Something in Asia. Philharmonic. No. I have no idea is what Sarah is saying. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Well, that's not it. End of Ain. Oh, that's sad. Well, so folks are they're in the right direction. So those who are thinking Animal Kingdom are kind of in the right direction.
Let me play it again.
Okay.
It's going to be hard, this one.
Is this just an area in Animal Kingdom, or is this an attraction of sorts?
Neither.
Well, that's helpful. Neither. How is that even possible?
I'm so appalled by the level of energy that we got.
Oh, we got a winner! Winner! Chicken dinner!
Whoa! Yes, I saw it. Yes, actually.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Megan.
But
Megan was the first one, but Daryl came in, and Sarah came in.
No, actually,
Yeah.
Daryl's showing up before for me here.
Oh, for me, it's Megan.
Daryl said Jumbo House.
See, and Megan said Animal Kingdom Lodge. So, and then Sarah said, let's go with Animal Kingdom Lodge. I think we need to show the
reveal.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
So nice.
That drum you hear is Carlos playing about a half mile away, just as hard as he possibly can.
At the trading post in Epcot.
Exactly. Just beating on it as hard as he can.
Oh my gosh. Let's go to the number 2.
Okay.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I am. In 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think that one's pretty easy.
You think? Let's hear it again.
Possibly.
In 1, 2, and 3.
Thinks it's easy, does he?
Yeah.
It could only be one of a few things. I think so.
Yeah. I think the one that's really easy.
Really?
Let's see how fast somebody gets.
Sarah.
That was the sound of my eardrum exploding.
My buddy Zach Vision. The visual of Carlos hitting a drum as hard as he can. So great. Sarah saying the Epcot entrance area.
Well,
that was the sound of my eardrums floating. Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Kayla says Soren. Lisa Milam says Soren. Daryl Collins says background music in Canada.
That's
Which
a
says
clever answer. I wouldn't have thought about that.
Carousel. Which one?
The Canada one.
Yeah. We do have a correct answer.
Yes, we do already have the correct answer.
Although it's not as specific as it should be, but
No, actually, we have 2 correct answers. There are 2.
yeah, you know,
Our
there is a
buddy-
special element.
Our buddy
Included.
Caleb and Lisa, Lisa got it right. So let me show. But yes, there's something
There's a
different.
special element. Yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? Right in.
That's Toes McGee up there, swinging them in the air.
It's the only way to fly, baby. It's the only way to fly.
Clearly
Colin,
not, based on whoever's sitting next to you.
Colin, have you ever experienced that?
Unfortunately.
Okay. It is a totally different
Both
attraction.
factors of that's the sad part.
Yes.
It's what's really awkward when you have to sit there with you have to take shoes off and socks and then reassemble yourself out. I'm just kidding. I only do it when I have slip-on.
That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
No,
You
I
did
only
this
do
in
it.
California.
I had slip-ons.
No, really? He did it in
I'm
California. I
pretty sure
didn't
he took his
notice.
socks off.
I didn't notice.
If I did it in California, it would have been. I would have had that because I don't do it if I have socks on. That gets awkward. You have that experience. You get shuttled in and shuttled out so fast. It's like it's nerve wracking when you have to leave and the bag you try to get out like you so easily put in under
Stumbles
the.
out with one shoe in one hand, a sock
Yes.
in the other.
Oh, I've been close to that before.
Buddies,
For entirely different reasons, but it's happened.
let's go to the third sound though. Okay, are you guys ready?
Yes.
In 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, this is easy. I got this one.
Really?
I got this one.
Hmm.
This could be one of two places.
No, I wouldn't do it with socks on.
Yeah, you probably would.
I have
I did
some
not.
dignity.
I don't think that. I don't remember you doing that when we rode in
All I
California.
remember is him.
It was too
airing it out
cold to
very
have bare
late in the
feet.
day.
Yes.
It was so cold to have bare feet there.
Oh, it was cold. Remember how I needed to buy a.
We had to huddle. You know, we were because we were so like
Sadly,
almost cuddled
that's
up, and we
true.
we had barely spent any time together. Can you imagine how like piled in we would be now? Like we would be
I'd
like
more afraid now
embracing.
than I was then.
We'd be curled up in a big hug.
You know, and it was not only that, because then with the cold you start to lose your energy. Then suddenly I was saying, you know one thing, you see that little place there? I would just lie down and sleep in the middle of Main Street. I'm just exhausted. I'm drained.
It was like a
And
20-hour
those
day.
people, and those people, you remember like there was that fan that was blowing for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
for
it was
some
blowing
unknown
cold
reason.
air.
Yeah.
And every once in a while,
Right
somebody would
behind
come
us.
and sit between us and the fan, and we were like, "Oh, thank God!"
Yeah.
Thank God.
They
And then they
move.
get up, like,
Oh,
no.
no, it's too cold. And then, no. Yeah.
The priority seating area of all places, too.
Buddies, so let me do it again because everybody forgot now what it's the sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody's.
No,
Carlos.
there's some
Nobody cares.
No, yeah, and TTA, Tomorrowland People Mover, strange things happening to me, Tomorrowland. And I think.
Oh, Butch said Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story Mania.
Mom says Main Street.
Main Street. Caleb saying Tomorrowland entrance music.
Gustavo says People Mover.
Gustavo, hi, my friend, my neighbor. He's in our area here. I have this on iPod. This is what Dara is saying. Sarah, hi Sarah. Saying,
Hello, Sarah. Alien swirling saucers.
Swirling sources.
Well, we do have a correct answer or
Yeah,
two.
yeah. So let's show. Let's review. Oh my gosh, that was so empty.
That was that was after Monday. It was during Monday night's show after Happily Ever After had finished, and I came from the backs from Fantasyland over into Tomorrowland. It was the park was closed at that point, but people were emptying out. But it was a mass of people getting out of the park. I was like, ooh, don't miss that.
And this segment was brought to you by our buddy Collin Kendall.
Uh-oh. Yeah, so this week, one thing I do have to mention is since we had Matt on earlier this evening, I was lucky enough to be on Matt's podcast that released this week. It's a 2-part series with our friend Lisa Donato Glasner that has been on the show with us before, but now you've met Matt as well. So go check that out. It was, let me see how he phrased it exactly. The Simple Disney Moments is the name of the podcast, and I actually don't know what number it is because it doesn't tell me. But nonetheless, it came out August 21st, And if you want to check it out, it is on iTunes now. And I'm going to guess part 2 comes out next week. I don't know that for sure. But go check that out on Apple Podcast or wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm sure you can find it there as well. As always, Instagram has kind of been my thing for a little bit recently. And just check it out at Guide4WW. And you can check out some new articles on the website this week at guide4ww.com. And the shop is always live. Let me know if you want to do anything custom. So, short, brief, and to the point.
But you know one thing, I will do it. Let's try to do a twist. Let's ask our audience if we try to do the segment that was supposed to kill, or we save it for another time. Let's ask them.
It's getting late.
Yeah, I think we can do that in 15 minutes. But what do you guys think? You
I don't really. I don't know whether it's worth it or not.
No, it is worth it. It is, but
That wasn't very nice.
No,
at all.
it is. It is.
I don't know. I'm just being honest.
It is.
Sorry.
It is. I will tell everybody. It is a go with us here in South Florida. Okay, it's a go with us here in Florida.
Oh, that thing.
Yes. So.
Oh.
Imagine.
Oh, so I don't have to do anything.
No, you don't have to do
Teleportation.
anything. No, so it's a go. It's basically.
Or you know you. Oh, well, okay.
They're telling you to do it.
Michael Riley say, go for it. Daryl, go for it. Lisa say, I gotta head out.
Yes, again. I gotta make like
I
a
don't
baby.
blame
and
Keep
head out.
going. Keep going. Heather is saying, keep going. Patricia says South Beach. Okay.
It's queued up. Let's just see it.
Okay, so you know one thing? Let's
I
go.
don't think we really had a choice, Colin.
Now is the time. Now is the time.
That was the South Beach time.
Let's do our go with us. You know, the go with us is the segment that we're trying to bring areas outside of the Disney and Orlando thing. And the whole thing is that actually I was supposed to do this segment 2 weeks ago. And it's one thing that I already mentioned, and I think is the beauty about Florida, is that every single city, you have such a different vibe, and sometimes you even cities that are so close to each other, like for instance Miami and Fort Lauderdale, they're so apart. It's so different. It is traveling to another place. The same thing as Orlando and Tampa. So the whole thing. What happened, buddy?
It's just funny. You said like the Miami and Fort Lauderdale. It's like traveling to another place, and it's like
It is.
It is traveling.
Quite
No,
literally.
but to another world. So to another country.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It is traveling to another. It's so different. So one thing that I like to just show, and one thing I would do this time is that I would open the mics, buddy. I will put in our.
Oh, that's risky.
Yeah, I will open the
What do
mics,
you mean?
and we're gonna comment the videos, even with the sound. I like
Oh
it.
no!
The first thing is that we'll talk.
Keep it clean, Colin.
So let's
Yes,
talk
no
about.
promises.
And it's funny because for me, I'm right in the middle of the way between Miami and Fort Lauderdale. Actually, I can see both skylines from my apartment. If I go look to the south side, I can see Miami,
Russia.
and then from the north side, I can see our
Vietnam.
beautiful Fort Lauderdale. And I like to just do a quick ride along Fort Lauderdale. Have you ever been to Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
No.
You did, in
Last
never to
week.
Miami.
Last week.
Where?
Aventura, I think they call it. Or that was like south of. I'm just kidding. We went there. We spent a couple of days there ahead of a cruise a few years back.
Oh, and you did not visit Miami.
No, I'm scared of Miami.
But that's happened a lot.
For good reason.
No one be scared of Miami. Gustavo is here. No, Miami is it's okay.
I didn't know Gustavo then.
Well, and Kelly's here also. Kelly, no, Miami.
I didn't know Kelly then.
So let's walk. Let's drive around Fort Lauderdale for a little bit. And I'm opening the mics here.
I've been there.
Yes, this is
right along the boardwalk area. This is
next to Las Olas. Yes.
and you can watch if you're sitting on the beaches there. You can watch the cruise ships go out.
Yes,
go out.
because
really,
it's
really nice.
it's pretty close to the.
Oh, that's for people like pretend to exercise.
Yes, and actually I was there. Look, it's too loud here.
Oh, you're running really fast.
And
How are you running so fast?
Speedy. Is this a scooter?
no, it's not scooter. It's I'm driving. And this is Fort
Well, you
Lauderdale
shouldn't
Beach
have admitted
Boulevard.
that. You'll get a
Yeah,
ticket in the mail.
I would do my morning walks on that boulevard there. Oh, I've been there too.
Yeah, I love.
Yeah, our hotel was right around here.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, Michelle, I don't know if Michelle remembers where we stayed, but we stayed in a nice hotel. We had a great view and beautiful sunrise.
Yes.
Got some great
Fort
pictures of
Lauderdale
sunrise.
looks
Yeah,
amazing.
there's a nice little market there.
Susie.
And-
Susie
cool
Marquette
shape,
say I lived in Fort Lauderdale for 4 years.
oh, there's that little market. Is that the market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Taco Bell Cantina.
Fort Lauderdale is always
No,
beautiful.
they have the sky bridges that
Yeah.
take you from the hotel over to the beach, so you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about crossing the traffic.
And
nice.
here,
That is a large hotel.
yes, this is a
Is that a
W.
Westin?
A W.
The W.
W.
I don't know what that is.
It's a W.
It's a W.
Well, that's not helpful to me.
But it's a W.
It's a W, Colin.
It is.
Have you heard
More
of
familiar
X or
with the
Y?
hill.
It's a W.
And it's
It's a beautiful beach.
and it's in here in South Florida they don't have many of these situations like you have a beach that boulevard and the beach usually it's secluded. You usually have houses or buildings in the middle of the way that you can see the ocean, and that's what I like Fort Lauderdale Beach a lot. Laura is saying W is a hotel chain, Colin. And it's under
the
the
boat we're gonna put in.
and here we have the
Lake.
marinas, yeah. And here we have the marinas and other stuff.
Where did we stay? Oh yeah, you could see the what was that? The intercoastal or what they call
That's
that?
called the.
Yes, here the Intracoast is what you see
Yeah, the
right now.
Yeah, the intercoastal
Waterway.
yeah behind yeah you could see that from our hotel too. It was really beautiful. I should have sent you pictures for this too. I think we stayed at the Hilton. When we were there, and they had this really nice restaurant in there called I think Ilios or something like that. It's a really beautiful
Ilios.
area.
Yeah, there's a Greek
Yeah.
restaurant there.
Mhm.
Ilios, but are you sure you stayed in the Hilton?
Yes, I think so.
Oh
It
yes,
used to be a Hilton.
No, yeah.
No, it's a Hilton there.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah, it's Hilton. It's right at Ryamar Street and Viramar, Ryamar, and I don't know, somewhere in between there. Viramar, I think. Anyway,
And that's lovely. Actually, Fort Lauderdale has and you can watch in the Pontos. You do videos about the.
it's right next to the W. That's where I stayed.
The downtown area. The downtown area of Fort Lauderdale is also interesting. You have Las Olas and the riverfront area, which is beautiful. So you can walk around the evening there. Fort Lauderdale is always a great destination, and Michelle was.
I was impressed. I was impressed when we went. I wasn't expecting much. I had low expectations, and it was really nice.
Yeah, it's a lovely town, Yes, Michelle. Whenever we need to plan. You have to come here. But the problem is that you don't know Miami, so we have to spend a lot of time in Miami, Joe. It is.
What a shame.
We also have to talk about F1 at some point.
Yes, and I'm so proud
Because you know what happens tomorrow, my friend.
Yes, they're back. Yeah,
They're back, baby.
They're back, and one thing I will miss because I'm gonna be traveling to Orlando because I have this meeting
Well, that's
tomorrow.
just but not, you'll be able to see
Someone
the race
has
on
to
Sunday,
work,
right?
and then you know what happens.
You'll watch the race on Sunday, right?
Yeah, so I'll be driving back from Orlando on Sunday. I will miss
Come
that.
on, that early?
No, I'll watch the race and then yeah.
Maybe we should watch together.
You can hold hands.
You know what?
Maybe we should find some place to go to brunch where they'll be showing it, and then we can go.
You know, one thing, but is what I'm really proud of is because like 2 months ago, Jason was not even aware about that.
No,
one.
I was aware of it.
And now he's a F1, and there's another thing, Jason. There's a possibility we are gonna have a second Grand Prix in US this year, and I already have some. I did the hotel reservation for many different weekends there in Texas.
I hope you got
Texas.
double beds, baby.
I'm going to Texas, buddies. And it was the nice.
Both know you'd go either way.
It was a nice
pillows.
It was a nice. It was a nice twist, a twist ending up with a nice stroll and a nice drive in Fort Lauderdale, and buddies, Jason and Collin, thank you very much because it's not that this was a difficult week because something bad happened. No, but it was. I was so drained on energy, and then when it comes to the show, I'm home.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm home. This is good.
Where people are mean to you, but nice to you at the same time.
You're mean. I know. I know that behind all the mean things, I know there is a lot of love. So I'm okay. Mark Williams is saying Margaritaville Beach resort near Hollywood. It's near Fort Lauderdale. So much fun. Actually, Mark. Not so. Yeah, it's close to Fort Lauderdale, but it's actually an arm's length for me here. I'm really close to that place too. Buddies, it was a great show. Let me just change here just to the.
Don't change for me.
Yeah.
Don't change a thing.
And we're one thing. Can we tell, Collin? Can we tell who is going to be with us next week, or we better?
We should probably. Well, let's just say soon. Let's just say soon. We'll have a friend joining us from.
It's a very special guest.
A very special guest, because the only thing I can say, I will say that I will not reveal that much, is that you're used to listen to him.
Somebody calls him the Winnie to his poo.
You usually listen to him, but it is really rare for us to see him.
Wow. I hope he didn't see this because he might not come now.
No, but you Collin's right. It's one of the most.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Guys, thank you. It was a great show, and I'd like to wish all of you there, really,
even me.
Yes, everybody. A great rest of the week. And the weekend coming is going to be pretty special. I hope that everybody stay safe, stay well, and it's not Lou.
No. Who?
And stay well, and we're gonna see you next week. Take care.
Good night, guys.
Every step we take choice we made.